Hi everyone. Good afternoon here in the UK, but I'm very aware that you're joining us from all different places. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I'm aware we've got some people just still coming into the room, so I will slowly start introducing the session. My name's Sam Cathro. I'm Deputy Head of Student Experience here at the University of Surrey. Welcome to everyone that's joined us on the call today. This is an opportunity for you to ask any questions that you may have before your arrival at Surrey. So I am joined by my lovely colleagues from all across the student services. I'll ask them to introduce themselves and which department, which team they're from in a second, so you'll know who's here. Thank you to those of you that have pre-submitted questions. So we've taken those and we'll start with the teams answering those questions. If you haven't pre-submitted a question, that's absolutely fine. You can type your question into the Q&A, and once we've gone through the pre-submitted questions, we will start going through your live questions and we'll answer as many as we can in the time that we have available today. We're aware that some people aren't able to join us today, or you may want to watch the session back, so we'll record the session and then you'll have the link available later to be able to do that. So as I said, think about some questions that you might have, and hopefully you get some good information about what happens when you get here and about how to make the most of the transition to joining the University of Surrey. So I'm just going to go around my screen, ask my colleagues to introduce themselves so you know who they are. So Duncan, can I start with you, please?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Duncan Myers. I'm one of the university chaplains, so we're religious representatives. We work within the university for people of all faiths, all world faiths, and people who don't have a particular faith. We do lots of community events, we do lots of things with food, and of course we're able to be consulted on any matters to do with faith and practice here at the university and in Guildford.
That's great, thank you, Duncan. Monica, can I come to you next?
Hello.
Or Monica and Lewis together, maybe?
Yeah. Hello, I'm Monica. I'm from the accommodation services team. So any questions that you have about campus accommodation, be it your arrival date, anything about departure, allocations, and or your room, we're here to help. Over to you, Lewis. Oh. No worries, I can do it. My colleague Lewis, also from accommodation, here to answer any of your questions as well.
Thanks, Monica and Lewis. Toby, can I come to you next?
Hi, I'm Toby West. I'm the Sports Participation Coordinator at Team Surrey. So I work in anything sport over at the sports park. We've got a high quality sports park here, one of the best in the UK, and we are here to cater any of your sporting needs while you're at the university.
Great, thanks, Toby. Karen, can I come to you?
Hi, everybody. My name is Karen. I'm the Student Administration Manager in the Academic Hive. And in the Academic Hive, we help students with any queries related to their modules, timetables, assessments, anything of that kind. So we're happy to help you.
Great, thanks, Karen. Holly?
Hi everyone, I'm Holly Wilcox. I'm Student Money Advice Manager of the Student Money team. So our team supports students with general financial queries, things like budgeting, funding, or if you find yourself in any kind of financial difficulty, and we're here to support you.
Great, thanks, Holly. Carol, can I come to you?
Yeah, hi everybody, I'm Carol Cotton. I'm the Residential Life and Peer Support Manager. So any questions around residential life, you'll probably be directed to the accommodation office. I might be able to help as well in terms of kind of social aspect of being around on campus and community building and being part of the people side of the experience. Welcome.
Thanks, Carol. Lauren?
Hi everybody, and welcome to Surrey. My name is Lauren. I work in the My Surrey Hive, and you can ask the My Surrey Hive anything you like, anything about university life. We're general inquiries. We will help you find the answer. So please do ask away if you have any questions at all, and we'll help you get there.
Great, thanks, Lauren. Kate, can I come to you next, please?
Hi, everyone. My name's Kate Nichols. I'm a careers consultant here at the university. So we have a big team of people to help you with placements, people that deal with working with employers, student engagement, and then careers consultants like me who are here to help you with your CVs, applications, cover letters, job searches, interviews, job choices, etc. So lovely to meet you.
That's great. Thank you, Kate. Lisa, can I come to you next, please?
Hi, my name's Lisa Hawthorne. I am the manager for the mental health practitioners at the university. So we have sort of a double-sided team. We have a team of counsellors, and we also have a team of mental health practitioners, and we're here throughout your student journey to support you with any mental health needs that you have. You know, it's a ride coming to university, and there's always going to be ups and downs, but whatever they are, we're here for you on your journey.
Great, thanks, Lisa. Nikki, can I come to you next, please?
Hi, everybody. My name's Nikki Bottrell, and I'm the student finance team leader. And my team are here to answer any questions that we've got regarding paying for your university tuition or university accommodation fees.
Great, thanks, Nikki. Marion?
Hello, I'm Marion Lewis. I'm the Library Experience Lead. So you'll meet my team at the Library and Learning Hive on level 1 of the library. We're here to help you with all queries to do with using the library, our space, how to borrow books, but also signposting to other teams and services in the building. So, for example, our academic maths and statistics support. And we're also very good at signposting to other services as well. So if in doubt, do come and speak to us.
Thanks, Marion. And then Raifa and Corbenna, you want to go together?
Hi, everyone. So my name is Raifa, and I'm joined by my colleague Corbenna. We are in the International Student Advice team. So if you are coming to Surrey on a student visa, then we are your first point of contact if you have any questions related to your visa. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. I think I've gone around everybody now, so you have a good idea of the people that are here and the kind of teams and support that they represent at Surrey. So I'm going to, as I said, go to the pre-submitted questions. And Lauren, you said we could ask you anything, so I'm going to start with you. And the first question, what is the date of registration to take campus cards?
Okay, yes, great first question to start us off, because registration is one of the first tasks that you'll have to complete to make sure that you are enrolled on your course. So the first day to register in person at the university is Sunday the 4th of February, and that's in our University Hall building from 12 p.m. until 4 p.m. Following that, you can register from Monday to Thursday that week. Same location in the University Hall, same timings, 12 till 4. If you aren't planning to arrive within that time frame, then you can register the following week from Monday the 12th of February, which is in the My Surrey Hive. And you can register all week, and that's from 12 till 3. And if you didn't get all of that information, please just ask somebody when you're on campus where registration is. There'll also be lots of signs leading you towards the right location to come and register. Please bring your ID documents with you and any visas that you might have in order to register as well. And then your question was about campus cards. So if you have uploaded a photo at your online pre-registration, which you must do before you do your in-person registration, then your card should be ready there for you. So when you register, you can take away your card and a lovely coloured lanyard to keep it in. If you didn't manage to upload a photo at pre-registration before the deadline, or maybe it wasn't an accepted photo, then our lovely library team will be present in the hall to take your photo, so you can still walk away with your campus card from the University Hall. If you register later in the My Surrey Hive, then there'll be an online form for you to fill out with your photo, and it might take 1 to 2 days for your card to be prepared, and then you'll collect it from the library. But you can still attend lectures and everything else whilst your card is pending, so don't panic.
That's great, thank you. Yeah, thanks, Lauren. Thanks for covering the later campus card collection as well. We'll move on to some specific kind of visa related questions, if that's okay, Raifa. Come to you. So unfortunately, and we know this from lots of students, there's a huge rush of applicants to UKVI and not able to provide responses in time, even if students have booked priority service. So if it's taken longer than expected, what's the best strategy?
Okay, so if you believe that you will not be able to arrive to Surrey by the latest arrival date, or which is on your CAS, which is the 16th of February, then please contact your academic hive as soon as you can to ask them if you can have registration extension, and your academic hive will be able, if they can approve this extension or not, or they can let you know what are the other options.
That's great. Thanks, Raifa. Karen, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, just to say that the academics obviously do like students to be here ready for the start of the semester. So if you can get here, classes begin on the 5th of February. So if at all possible, if you could get here before the 16th, it's much better for you because you can start to engage in your classes straight away. We can't guarantee that a date after the 16th would be approved, depending on what program you're on and how much of the content you may have missed. So if you can get here by the 16th, please do try to.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you both. So we had a couple of very similar questions coming through about arrival, which I think we've covered. Right, for the next question we had was about first steps on reaching the UK. I wondered if you've got any advice that you can offer as to what they might be.
So I will answer this question from our team's perspective. So when you arrive to Guildford, you need to collect your BRB. If you were told in your visa decision letter that you will collect a physical BRB card, then you need to collect it from Guildford Post Office. Please take your passport and your visa decision letter with you to be able to collect the BRB. If your BRB is not available for collection, don't panic. The staff will give you a letter to state that your BRB is not ready. Take your BRB or the letter to the main registration with your passport. I recommend that you check our Welcome to Surrey page. It has a lot of information about what to expect, about your arrival, how to arrive from the airport, from Heathrow Airport or Gatwick Airport to campus. And it also has information specifically related to international students. So please check that website as well. I don't know what about, maybe the other teams can maybe also add something to this question, to this answer. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's that's a good start, Raifa. Does any other teams want to add kind of top tips on arrival in the UK? We could come back to it at the end. We can think of something and then come back to it at the end. Okay, let's stay with you, Raifa. The final question at the moment for you was about CAS. So if I have a CAS, can I refund my payments or can I defer to the next intake?
Okay, this is a good question. I'm afraid it's not specifically for our team, it's for the admissions team. However, I can answer this question. So if you, for any reason, you can't apply for the visa or you can't join the teams, then we recommend that you contact the admissions team, and they will be able to advise on the refund of your deposit. The deferral, I'm not sure you can defer from February to September, so this is a discussion that you need to have with the admission team.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Rafa. Duncan.
Yes, just back on the top tips when people are arriving, and ask people questions if you don't know something. So there will be student ambassadors around a lot of the places. Just please ask them a question about anything you're confused about, especially for international arrivals. It can be a very confusing time. So please do. People at the university want to help you settle in and find your way. So don't be afraid to ask questions. There are no stupid questions at all.
Yeah, great advice, Duncan. Thank you. And just to say, all the people that represent the teams on here will be here ready for you. We're ready for you to arrive. We're all here for you to ask questions. A lot of our students will be here and have been in the same position as you guys are now. So they are absolutely here for that exact reason. Thank you. Lauren?
I've just thought of a top tip as well, although I completely agree with what I want to back up what Duncan and Sam have said as well. Completely agree with that. Please do ask us. But also another top tip would be to register with a GP. We're looking to registering with a GP as soon as you arrive. So there'll be lots of information on how to do that at the register.
Oh.
Did you lose me there?
I think we lost you a little bit at the registration.
At the registration sessions, yeah. And yeah, it's a GP is a general practitioner. There are doctors here who you can visit. There's lots of different practices in very close to the campus, so you can go there if you need to talk to them about anything health related. But we do recommend that you register straight away rather than waiting until you need to speak to a doctor, because there could be a delay.
Great, thank you. Thanks, Duncan and Laura. We will keep going throughout with these top tips as they come into people's heads, because that's very helpful. I'm going to move on now. We had some more kind of specific academic related questions, so I'm going to come to you, Karen. And the question was, when will I get my timetable and class information?
Right, so once you arrive and we have a student record, the programme team are now adding modules to your record. What we do is we add the modules, then we allocate you to different groups, to seminars and tutorials. You'll have access to an online timetable, which will be personalised just for you. If you have optional modules to choose, please select them as quickly as you can. You'll be able to access the module catalogue, which will give you a bit more information about each module if you're not sure what the assessments are, what's involved, what the learning outcomes are. The optional module selection system is open now. As soon as you've activated your IT account, you should be able to access that to select your optional modules. Until you've selected them, we can't put them on your record and allocate you to groups, so you might not have a full timetable until you've completed the selection of all your optional modules. But
that's
do
great.
feel free, do come into the Academic Hive if you have any questions about your timetable, modules, anything like that. Please do come in and see us.
Thanks, Karen. The next question, I guess, was from a student who was having some challenges to be able to do that. So a challenge to log into Surrey Self-Serve to select optional modules, and they've completed online registration, but the password doesn't seem to be working.
All I can suggest with that one is that IT might need to help you out.
Yeah.
Once you do have access, it's quite easy to select your optional modules, but initially it would be IT that need to help you. And I know they're really busy at the moment. So if you haven't heard, if you have a case number, You could maybe either email them again with a case number that you got. You should get a case number with the automated response you had. You can't find a case number. It might be worth emailing again just to let them know that you're having problems. But as soon as you have your IT account activated, then you will have access to all the IT systems, the university systems and everything. And if you're still having trouble selecting your optional modules, do come in and see us because we can help you then. Unfortunately, we can't activate your IT account for you or resolve an IT issue. Our IT department will need to do that for you.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Karen. And just to add, IT support will be at registration as well. So if any of you are still having issues with passwords or logging into things, then our colleagues from IT support will be around to help you during that registration period. So we'll get things sorted once you arrive. Great, thank you. And then final question from you, Karen, before we move on, was about how can we get a personal tutor who will help us through our course duration? Oh, you're on mute, Karen.
Sorry. Every student will be allocated a personal tutor. So once you arrive and you've activated your IT account, we'll be able to allocate you a personal tutor. Your personal tutor will be there available to give you support and guidance throughout your time during your programme. Generally, they'll reach out to you to make an appointment and invite you to come and see them within the first 3 weeks. But do reach out and introduce yourself. Just stop by and have a chat because they're a really good academic to get to know. So that they will support you with any of your questions, your needs related to your academic studies or to any pastoral questions you may have. So everybody will have a personal tutor.
Great, thank you, Karen. We've had quite a number of questions about accommodation, so I'm going to move on now. And hopefully Monica and Lewis can help you with some of those questions. So the first one we had was, is it possible for a first year student to apply for a studio apartment in Manor Park? And then the student has some health issues, so would prefer to live independently. Monica. Oh, she's frozen. Lewis, are you able to come in? Oh, we can't hear you, Lewis. Should we come back to the accommodation questions? Maybe we'll do that. Maybe Monica needs to leave us and rejoin, but we've got lots of questions to move on to. So I'm going to leave some accommodation questions. I'm going to move on to money advice, if that's okay, Holly. So the question was, I wanted to know about weekly expenses that a student faces and should be ready for. That's a big question, but can we get some top tips?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it is a big question just because it will vary for everybody. But we do have a web page that acts as a guide to general living costs. However, the amount that you need will actually depend on your individual circumstances. So, for example, if the cost of your accommodation, you know, may well be more than another student. So we can't kind of have specific costs, but I can give you kind of an overview. I'll put that link in the chat as well, so you can have a look at our general guide of things to consider. And also I'll put in some links for international students as well from UKESA that might be helpful. But please be aware that you need to ensure you have enough for your tuition fees, accommodation, so that's whether you're living privately or with the university, and enough for food, travel, laundry and general living expenses. And also to cover any additional course costs, so for example, books or trips. You'll also likely want to have some money to socialise and maybe visit places outside of Guildford. So I would also take that into consideration, as well as things like university societies. So some of them might have costs if you're interested in any of the university societies as well. So for international students, all of these costs may add up to be more than the Home Office minimum requirement for your visa, depending on your rent costs each month. So it's important that you take some time before you start your studies to make sure you're well prepared. It's also important to check you have no issues with transferring money abroad while you're in the UK. So for when you set up your UK bank account, if you need to make any transfers, that's easy for you. and to plan ahead for any unexpected delays so you have access to money on arrival as well, just in case something unforeseen happens. For home students who are entitled to the postgraduate loan from Student Finance, please be aware that this is unlikely to be enough for all your tuition fees and accommodation and living costs. So again, you'll need to plan accordingly and make sure you have enough money to meet your weekly costs. I'll also put a link in the chat about budgeting and a tool to help you check your budget. And once you're a registered student with the university, you can also join for Free Black Bullion, which is our educational money platform we've partnered with, which is very helpful for general tips as well. So I hope that's helpful, but for general money queries, you can always contact the money team as well. Our email is moneysupport@surrey.ac.uk, and I'll pop that email in the chat as well.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Holly, and thanks for the links and the email address as well. So I appreciate that's quite a lot of information if you're a student, but as we said, we're recording the session. You might want to listen to it again or go to the links that Holly suggested so that you can review them later and take a bit more time over them as well. I think Monica's back with us. Hi, Monica.
Hello, I hope this is better now.
Yeah, we can see you and hear you now, so that's good. So we'll go back to our, no problem, we'll go back to our accommodation questions. And the first question that you had was about if it was possible for a first-year student to apply for a studio apartment in Manor Park, particularly if the student's got additional needs and prefers to live independently.
So the short answer is yes. In the application, all students are asked to rank the bedroom types in order of preference. So the way that we allocate is we look at the top preference. If it's available, we allocate. If it isn't, we go on to the second preference. So you're welcome to put a studio flat or bandep, as we sometimes call it, as your top preference. If there is a special need or condition that needs to be taken into account, then that gets referred to the Disability and Neurodiversity team. With them, you discuss your needs as well as what type of accommodation would be best suited to meet your needs. Once you've had that discussion, there's an outcome, and is that outcome that comes to accommodation? And that's when we check for availability of whatever type of accommodation would be best to meet your needs.
Thanks. Thank you. Thanks for explaining that, Monica. It's really helpful. The second question we had about accommodation was whether it's supposed to get an ensuite flat or studio for 3 months. So I think March to May were the dates given, but I guess the question is about short-term options.
So in accommodation, we don't do short-term accommodation. We either have a full academic year or a semester contract that we give students. However, the short-term accommodation that we do have, and I should say it's a limited, is our guest rooms. And guest rooms for students, it's a maximum stay of 28 days. So it's really a bit more like a hotel. You can think a bit more like a hotel rather than a short-term accommodation in student accommodation. I would say if you are looking for short-term accommodation, you would probably be better off looking in the private sector.
Great, thank you, Monica. And I guess the next one, or maybe we could tie this into a couple of questions that came in before, is about how payment works. How do we pay for accommodation? How and when do we pay?
Okay, so about 2 weeks after you move in, you will receive an invoice. The invoice will have the amount that you need to pay as well as the pay by dates. It will also have a link to where you can make the payment online.
Right. Thank you.
Simple as that.
Yeah, it sounds simple.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. And then the other question that, which I think is quite a popular one as well, is if students were to arrive a day or two before the room is available, is it possible to get accommodation for that?
Okay, if you already know that you're gonna arrive before the date that it says on your license, let us know by email or call us. I can put our email and number on the chat as soon as possible, because we need to check whether your room will be ready a day or two before. You can expect your room to be ready by the date, your arrival date that is stated on the license. But if you're arriving earlier, let us know. We will let you know whether you can arrive earlier or whether you need to make temporary arrangements like stay in a hotel or Airbnb or whatever until your room is ready, which will be your arrival date on your license.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. And then the final question was a more kind of general question about accommodation on campus. I don't know if it's possible, Monica, just to give a quick summary of what's available.
Yeah, I'd love to. So to get more in-depth information, I'd say visit our website. But at Surrey, we've got a really wide range of accommodation going from shared rooms to single rooms and shared facilities, en suites and studio flats. So we try to cater for the different types of accommodation as well as different budgets. So if you wanted to look at that, I'd say go to the website. But in a nutshell, all of our accommodation is self-catered. So the kitchen will always be the communal area of a flat. Like I said, we have shared rooms, en suites, studio flats, which is self-contained. We have a limited number of family flats. You're welcome to apply for them, but you won't be guaranteed to get a family flat. And it's all down to the limited number that we have available. In terms of what's included in your accommodation, all of the utilities, broadband, contents insurance, we have a campus safety team 24/7, 365 days a year, welfare support, cleaning of communal areas, waste disposal, recycling, maintenance. It's all inclusive. And yeah, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to contact the accommodation team. I don't know if you have any other, I don't know if you want me to say anything else.
No, that's great. Thank you. I know Carol's itching to come in here. So Carol, over to you.
Chomping at the bit to add to that. just to follow on. So yeah, my team is the residential life and peer support team. So if you have any questions or just want to talk to someone about residential life, the experience of being a student in the accommodations, as well as Monica and her team, you can talk to our team. So our team cover weekends and evenings when often most people that you see on the screen aren't at work then, or generally, please shout if I'm wrong, maybe apart from Duncan. Duncan's always here. A more kind of 9 to 5 type people, whereas our team extends into the evening till 10 p.m. We start later, so don't feel sorry for us, it's okay. We start later till 10 p.m. and also work covering from 2 to 10 on Saturday and Sunday. So you might have a question outside of standard business hours, if you like, when you can contact our team and we will help. We might not be able to solve everything, but we'll do what we can to help you when we're around. Just to add to that, the campus safety team are also here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even longer hours than us. They never sleep. So they're here for all your kind of anything you might need in the residences too. What was I going to say? We're running a couple of events which will be on your welcome week timetable to meet other people in the accommodation. And to add, throwing all bits together here, a top tip, one of the questions at the start of the event. I think one of the things that we would love you to remember is just treat other people that you're living with as you'd like to be treated yourself. If everybody did that, we would probably be out of a job. So just respect each other, expect them to respect you. Come and talk to us if that isn't happening. But I think if we all start from a place of treating others how we want to be treated, respectfully speaking to people, asking someone if you haven't quite made it to Tesco's, the local supermarket, and would really love a slice of bread to have. Most people would say, yes, of course you can have a slice of bread. People aren't so happy if you just take it. So just be respectfully treating each other. That'd be my top tip of living harmoniously and forming some amazing, relationships with housemates, which will start from that place of kind of openness and trust. There we are. That's it. Oh, and just finally add for we've also got some student peer supporters, second half of our team, who'll be walking around campus over the weekend and around the evenings of the following week to welcome you to try and answer any questions you might feel more comfortable asking a student. So if you find you haven't seen one, because there's a lot of people on campus and you might not see that one person, then you can always contact our team over email. I'll put the address in the chat and we'll come and visit your room specifically. We'll never enter your room. We'll just come into the flat and kind of knock on your door and just say hi. So we all want to, as earlier said, make your experience here be really positive and that you have a warm kind of welcome, but also reach out to us, because we can't knock on every person's door every single time. We need you to come and talk to us as well if you need some support from us. I hope that's summarised and I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. Thanks, Carol. I think lots of people around to support you, and please, as Duncan said, please ask questions. That's what everybody is here for. I'm going to move on. Toby, can I bring you in now? So the specific question was how to register for the swim club and the timings of it, but you may want to add a bit more information other than swimming.
Yeah, so we're lucky enough that about a 15-minute walk down the road from the university, we have the Surrey Sports Park, which is an absolutely elite sports centre for the country, up with the best of the best. In terms of swimming, we have an Olympic-sized pool with a host of brilliant coaches and lifeguards, so it's completely safe and there's loads of people to help you with anything you need while you're in there. In terms of at Team Surrey, we have free swimming Monday and Friday. So it's for half an hour. You can just pop in the pool and get some lengths done. If you're new to swimming and you want to learn how to swim, on a Wednesday and a Friday, we have a Learn To course where you can just get involved, swim with a few other peers from the university, a few other students, and we'll have one of our coaches there teaching you everything you need to know. If you're just looking to swim here, it's £3 to go swimming. So you can just pop down to the sports centre. Most of the day, there's a few hours where there's lessons, but there's usually some lanes open to get going and have a little swim. And if you're interested in trying to get a bit more social, we have our swimming club, which once you arrive here, you'll be welcome over to the sports centre to come and speak to Team Surrey, where we can put you in touch with the swimming club and they can hopefully get you involved in anything swimming related or social related while you're here. If you decided that you want to start going to the gym as well as swimming, you can purchase our gold membership, which is £28 a month. And once you've gone that, you can go to the gym and you can swim as much as you want. And as seen as everyone here is talking about their top tips, my top tip would be jumping on the Team Surrey website, having a look around. We've got tons and tons of sports that we offer here. We've got 47 sports, from badminton to sailing to skiing to lacrosse. Anything that might interest you, we probably do it. So don't be afraid to hop on there, reach out to us, reach out to the clubs, and give sport a go while you're here. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Toby. I'm conscious that we have got quite a few questions coming up. We will come to those, but we have a couple that were pre-submitted, so we'll keep going with those. And I'm going to come to Kate next, if that's okay, and ask you about placement or internship opportunities for international students, please.
Yes, so we don't guarantee that you're going to get an internship or placement. We don't just hand it to you. I know that that happens in some countries, but it doesn't happen in the UK. But what we do is we give you everything you need to be able to apply for any opportunity that you want. We have our own Pathfinder career site, which has job opportunities, placement opportunities. You can book appointments with us, etc. You will gain access to that within 24 hours of registering with the university. That will be live. You have a whole massive placement team here to help you to find those placements, to do the paperwork, etc. We also have careers consultants like myself that you can book appointments with to have your CVs checked, applications, etc. We have a brand new international student employability resource on our Pathfinder site now. And that's loads of information regarding gaining placements, the skills that you bring as an international student, cultural awareness. What else? There's a section on visas, there's a section on working while you are studying. So all sorts of great information on that. We also will be running our second International Student Employability Week. Week commencing the 26th of February. We have got, I think it's 8 different events taking part during that week, including pop-ups where you can meet the careers team. We have a cultural awareness session with Friends International, who we work with. We have a session on visas. We have some students. We have an alumni Q&A of international students. So that's all happening. We have weekly emails coming out with placement opportunities. We have lots of employer events where you can meet employers. Trying to think what else. And we have every single day the placement team are in one of our buildings answering questions as well. So masses of support to help you find your placement and make sure that the whole thing about it is to making sure that you know what you need to do next time when you finish your placement, finish your study with us, and then can go on to full-time employment afterwards. We want you to gain those skills so that you're in the best position for when you graduate. So that was rather a long answer, but hopefully that answered.
Yeah, it's really helpful. Thanks. Kate, the second question that we had was specifically about campus placements, and I know we've talked a lot about in this chat about student ambassadors, but I wonder whether you could touch on maybe campus opportunities a little bit.
Yeah, so it said the question said campus placements. So I'm not sure if it was meaning, you know, a placement as part of your placement year. There may be some placements on, you know, 1 year placements on the university, but these would all be advertised on our Pathfinder site. But if it was more for opportunities within the university to work as an, you know, in and around the universities, then yes, we have student ambassador vacancies. Keep looking on the Student Union website for them, and those are people that are showing people around the university, etc., and helping out at events. We also have jobs in some of our facilities as well, so Lakeside Cafe, some of the restaurants, etc. We have opportunities like that. We have our very own agency called Unitemps, and they have opportunities that are posted to work around the university as well. So plenty going on.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Kate. And then some student finance questions, finally from the pre-submitted one. So Nikki, can I come to you, please? So the first question, I guess that both questions are around invoicing, invoice numbers, and when will invoices be generated, and basically how can students pay?
Right. So if it's relating to tuition fee invoices, the tuition fee invoices are raised by Academic Registry, the fees and funding team. So I got in touch with them, and they said they're going to start raising the tuition fee invoices towards the end of February. And as a February starter, international students, you'll have two instalments on your invoice. So the first instalment would be depending on when the invoice is raised, round about the 10th of March, and the second instalment would be on the 31st of May. On your invoices, there will be a link to the Pay Your Fees pages where you can, we use Flywire. So for international bank transfers, we use Flywire. Students can log on to the link on our university web page, and they can choose their country that they come from. So they can go on to any country. All the countries will be listed there, and all different options for payment of your tuition fee and accommodation can be shown to you through the links on our website through the Flywire system. So it is all there. If you have any queries, then our contact details are on your invoices, and so you can contact the student finance team, or you can go into the Hive. someone in the Hive may be able to help you. So any queries that you've got relating to paying your fees, then please contact us. It's no problem. I can't remember what else there was, Sam. That
I think the two questions that we had were, so there's a specific one about invoice numbers.
So the tuition fee invoice numbers will be, so they'll start with your student number, a hyphen, and then there will be a 1 or a 2 or a 3. So they are invoiced in order. So depending, you probably would get, if you make a tuition fee prepayment, so if you paid your £2,000 deposit, then that deposit won't show on your invoice. You will just get an invoice for the balance of your tuition fees. So the invoice you will get will be invoice number 2, because and the invoice number 2 will be the balance of your tuition fees. Invoice number 1 will be for the deposit that you would have paid, but you won't be sent that because you've already paid that. And accommodation invoice numbers, they start with a 1-4. So they're accommodation invoices and tuition invoices have different numbers for how you can identify them.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Nikki. Again, if you have questions, please ask. As Nikki said, you can go into the My Surrey Hive and ask specific questions, and they will help you find the answer to that. So thank you. There are pre-submitted questions. Thanks for those of you that have been putting your questions into the Q&A. I can see that my lovely colleagues have already been answering lots of those in there. So thank you to you too. So I'll try and go through the ones that maybe we haven't answered, to make sure that we get through as many as possible. And so there was a question, I think, Monica, I'll come to you. It's about kitchens. Please talk about using kitchens and what usually leads to fire accidents.
I saw that question and I really liked it because we take fire safety really seriously, and statistically, the majority of fires start off in the kitchen. So what we do in order to prevent that is, and it's actually in our conditions of residence, we ask all of our students to be very mindful and careful when they are cooking. So that includes never leave anything unattended. If you have gone out and you come back and you're a little bit peckish, make sure you are extra careful, especially if perhaps you've had a drink or two. Make sure you're extra careful when you're cooking. We also look at what type of electrical equipment is permitted in accommodation. So we don't allow any international adapters. They have to be UK adapters, preferably with like an on and off switch, so that if there's too much electricity going through it, it shuts down. We also don't allow certain type of electrical equipment, like deep fryers. But we have a whole list of things that you are permitted and aren't permitted. I would say refer to the conditions of residence or ask.
Yeah,
but yeah,
sure.
really good question. I really like that.
Yeah, it was a good question. Safety first.
And I should say all of our kitchen is also equipped with a fire blanket. So should things not go according to plan, we also have a fire blanket. We have quite advanced fire detection systems in our residences. So yeah, should things not go according to plan, then that then kicks in to keep everyone not only in your flat but in your block safe.
Great, thank you, Monica. I'm just looking through our Q&A. I think all our questions have been answered. We have got a couple of minutes, so if you have got any burning questions that you think of, then do continue to put them into the Q&A. I can see now my colleagues also want to add their top tips, maybe. Duncan?
Thank you. Yes, I would say a top tip is to, as soon as you can, book yourself on one of our walking tours of the town. Guildford's a nice, it's not a huge town, but it can be slightly confusing. 10 minutes walk from the from Stag Hill campus a bit longer from Manor Park campus if you're living there. But book yourself on a walking tour and you'll get an explanation and also see where the post office is. Very important for international students who need that residence document. And my other top tip for all international students is that my colleagues in Friends International are running a welcome party for international students on the 6th of February. He guesses at the date. It might be the 7th. Check on the welcome programme and book yourself on that to meet some people from many different countries around the world. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Duncan. Lauren?
Yes, well, what I wanted to say leads on really nicely from what Duncan has just been mentioning, is about events and events that you can book onto when you arrive or even before you arrive. So somebody asked in the chat, when can we expect the official Freshers party? So there will be lots of Freshers events and social opportunities and chances for you to try new activities during those first couple of weeks, or indeed meet our support teams or people that can or our societies and clubs. Lots of things going on. There's going to be your bespoke welcome timetable available from tomorrow. So if you haven't seen that timetable yet that we've mentioned a couple of times, that's because it should arrive in your inbox. I believe it's tomorrow. If not, it'll be the next day. So very soon you'll be able to browse all of those events. Keep checking back there because there might be other events that get added over the coming days due to high demand and things like that. So please do keep checking back on the timetable, and then you can get lots of things booked in. As well as that, we have our Students' Union who offer lots of events. They have a What's On page where there's all of the details there. So I've actually put that link to the Student Union into the chat. So have a look for that. That's what I wanted to mention.
Perfect. Thank you. Rafa?
I'm afraid it's not a top tip. I just want to point out that our team, the International Student Advice team, will be present on Sunday at lunch in Hillside, so we will be there. Also, we will be present in the Hive during the first week between 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. in room 4 in the Hive for drop-in. So please, if you have any questions related to your student visa, please drop in room 4, and we will be happy to answer your questions. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great, Rafa. And a lot of the teams that are on here, as I said, will be around when you arrive, and a lot of the support teams will be visible in the My Surrey Hive as well. So just pop in and you should be able to speak to somebody there. Thank you. Monica?
Hello, I kept forgetting to say my top tip. Thank you for letting me squeeze it in. And accommodations top tip is bring something that reminds you of home. Students or our students sometimes brings photographs or a special your favorite tea, whether you're UK or international. Bring something that you can make your room your home. Your favorite pillow, your favorite food. Just, you know, it'll help you in that transition in a brand new place.
Yeah, that's great. Really nice tip there. Thank you. Carol?
Thanks. Just joining on from that. Also, when you bring your tea, go and knock on your neighbour's door and say, "Hey, would you like a cup of tea?" A smile and a welcome can go such a long way, and I think often it's easy to kind of think that everybody knows each other and you're the only person maybe from the town you've come from, or the only person from the country you come from, or the only person from, you know, anyway, it can feel quite lonely. So you can really easily combat that by just knocking on someone's door and saying hi. The chances are they are feeling exactly the same as you are. And if you then have the conversation, then you know more of a person than you did 10 minutes ago. And you get to try new tea out. So just knocking on someone's door and saying hi. Don't wait for someone to do it to you. Be that person that does it to them. Give them a friendly smile. I think a smile transcends all language, culture and understanding, and just that friendliness goes such a long way, and everyone is in exactly the same position as you. So go offer someone a cup of tea or coffee or glass of water. That's my top 2.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Thanks, Carol. We've had a couple of questions about getting from Heathrow to campus, so we'll put a link, I think, into the chat to answer that. There is some information on our welcome pages about how to use public transport to get from Heathrow to Guildford, and we will have student ambassadors and members of staff at Guildford Station and some minibuses as well, then to help you get from Guildford Station to collect your key on campus and to get to your accommodation. So we'll make sure that all that information is in a link in the chat. I'm really aware of time, so I wondered if anyone has got some final words of wisdom that they want to share before we end the call. Lisa or Marion, do you want to add anything? I know we haven't had specific questions for you, but Lisa?
I just popped in the chat. Sorry, Lisa, I just popped in the chat. Top tip for getting started with the library services and academic skills and development. Have a look at our welcome pages and you can book a welcome tour or find out more about our welcome fair, which will be the first week of semester 2 on there. Sorry, Lisa.
That's great. Thank you, Marion. Lisa?
The mental health practitioners and counsellors will be at as many of your introduction sessions as we possibly can be. What I would say is, you know, mental health affects all of us, whether it's positive or negative, whether we're feeling good, feeling bad. Don't leave it. Come and speak to somebody. You know, like Carol said, talk to your neighbour, talk to your friends, come and see us. We have a duty service if you're feeling particularly unwell between 9 and 4:30 Monday to Friday. We're all here to support you. Learning is really hard work, let alone learning in another country away from your family. All of us are here absolutely to support you on that journey. So don't leave it. If you're coming where you already have a mental health diagnosis and you need support with that, come and let us know. Register online. It's very easy to find. Register. We can then set up and make sure that you've got the support right from, you know, the get-go, making sure that you know where to go to get more medication, you know, if you need to have a mental health team involved, whether, you know, we can support you. So don't leave it. Come to us sooner.
Great, thank you, Lisa. I'm really out of time, so we're going to leave it there for today. I hope your questions have been answered. If they haven't, then you know where to hopefully get information. There's lots of links that we've shared with you. You can get in touch with some of the teams with the questions that you now have, so please do that. We are all here waiting, preparing for your arrival, so we're excited to welcome you to Surrey, and we hope that you have a safe journey, and we'll see you when you get here. Thank you. And thanks to all my lovely colleagues as well. Thank you for your time. Bye.